Bomba. Ba-da, ba-da, ba-da.
2020 The Collective.
Our parents said go to school, you better get that degree. I'd rather be successful overseas. Hard on the grind from Aruba to Lily.
Money riches, let's get. Money riches, let's get. Making art makes us happy. One day our dreams might pay the bills. Making art makes us happy. One day our dreams might pay the bills.
All right, what's up, guys? I'm Yeremyh Maduro.
I'm Patrick Ricao, also known as Noir.
I'm Glenn Kierman, Sombre Visuals.
And I'm Patrick Everon.
I'm Yeremyh Maduro from 2525.
And this is the 2020 Collective podcast. So this is the first episode for us, first edition. Yeah, I mean, straight off the bat, like, what is the 2020 Collective?
It's a collective.
It's a group of people.
It's a Power Rangers.
So these are
Avengers shit,
dictionary
man.
answers, like synonyms for freaking collective.
I think it can be explained as a group of people coming together. I mean, we're the people, of course. And
we're
we
coming
want
together.
Yeah, we're coming together to do something great creative-wise.
Yep.
Yeah,
So-
because we're all kind of from different disciplines from the media industry in a way. And we had this secretly been planning this for 6 months or so. So,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, it's been quite a while that I mean, we've been talking about it for quite some time before that, but then I think then we made an official decision to make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was about 6 months ago. So imagine the time
Yeah,
and
man.
effort into
The
this.
fact that we're actually here. is
Yeah,
just-
it's weird.
just- yeah,
Insane. Weird.
insanely weird.
insanely weird.
I think it all started with me asking Jeff a question, right? Jeff,
Yeah.
wasn't it outside my house that I asked you, wouldn't it be great if we all work together? I think that's where it
yeah,
started.
but that was you wanted us to be making clothes for you. So
no.
then afterwards,
Was it?
sorry, I'm the comedian. I have to make lame jokes.
Oh, man.
Because you're a comedian, you have to make lame ones.
Yeah.
If you weren't a comedian, you could
Nah,
make
then I would have had
ones.
golden jokes.
When it's on
Yeah.
stage.
Okay,
All right, now. Blah, blah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
no, exactly. Like
Yeah.
I think the majority of the ideas, or at least the thought process, started at least somewhere outside of a house.
Yeah.
Because at least for me, I think as a Rubens, we are very creative when we're outside of a
Oh,
house.
definitely,
It
definitely.
really doesn't matter where. But if we're chilling outside of a house, ideas are flying.
Yep.
Like legit.
Especially when you're with friends or
Yeah.
just a group of people.
Yeah. Especially yesterday, there was a point that I was just spacing out and listening to you guys, and I was like, okay, just talking and mixing all these languages, there's a certain speed of creativity that only occurs when a roomies are together, man.
Oh,
Yeah, that is
definitely.
true. We
Yeah.
we use like humor from different languages and
Yeah,
somehow
exactly. Yeah.
make something new, like totally crazy. What else? Should we talk about who we are so people know that?
Yeah, I guess we can dive in a little bit more on that topic of who we are individually and
Sorry, but could we go a bit deeper of why we joined together?
no.
So, yeah, preferably. I would say the idea was because we wanted to keep everything in-house. So
Yeah.
everyone in here does their own type of art, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's better to have it in-house than outsource it. So that was the idea behind 2020 for me then.
Actually, that's a good way. Like, okay, Ricao, like, what is 2020 Collective for you?
Oh, well, somehow, through all of the years, there were kind of like a bunch of butterfly effect that just brought us here, just naturally in some way. Because I met you guys all through like certain, just serendipity circumstances.
Serendipity. Big words.
And then just Glenn mentioning the choice, like, hey, yeah, why don't we actually make a collective and just kind of mesh together? You guys will come for like a few months. And it was just an automatic yes, because I trust all of your work and your creativity level is just experience and I trust you guys.
Yeah.
On man.
I mean,
That's
I
cool.
think that's also the thing, because we've all kind of worked together,
Yeah.
but not to the extent where it was to release the same product.
Yeah.
Right.
So we
Good
would
point,
always
yeah.
like help each other in our own field, but I think that's what made it more interesting for me as well, that we combined the idea of each person's craft to actually
Yep.
build towards something bigger.
Mm.
And that was, like, for me, that's the exciting part,
Yeah.
because I always struggled finding people that wanted to do certain things for projects or whatnot regarding either comedy or music, and we kind of just were all in the same network,
Mm.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
but
But
we didn't take it to that extent yet.
yeah, but on different timelines.
Yeah.
If you think about it, because
Also-
I've worked with all of you guys, well, except Jeremy, I think, at some point in time. For example, you with music, like a couple of years ago, we started, and I didn't even do anything with you, for example. But lately, well, with Glenn as well, while he was taking pictures here in the Netherlands, I helped you. You know, we kind of.
Yeah, you assisted me once. But yeah.
But I mean, we work on
Once was
projects.
special
toge-
ones,
Yeah,
everyone.
I mean, for me, it was collaborating somehow.
Yeah, he was collaborating while holding the lights. Yeah, sure, man.
Dude, that's
Why you gotta
hard
do me
job.
like that? Huh? my point is, it was like we were doing different creative stuff with each other, like
Yeah,
individually or together, and then now we're all together doing, all
Yeah.
of those things, but together as a group.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta like that is for me. For a while, I've just been working pretty much on my own. Like I collaborate frequently with other people, artists, and and mostly in the video industry. But I remember when Glenn introduced me to the group.
Mm.
Like he said, "Hey, we're doing this 2020 collective thing, and let's see, like maybe you can meet the other guys and see if we vibe, and if
Yeah.
maybe you might be able to join the group."
I remember.
Oh, yeah.
And that was via video call.
Yeah,
it was
that was
like
a video I remember.
really
Yeah.
good sense of
Glenn was
meet
like,
the guys.
Yeah, I've never had that much video calls
No.
professionally. It's
Yeah.
weird. It's like, oh, I only know this guy from just online.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh no.
And we only met each other like a couple
A
of
couple
days
of
ago.
times,
Yeah.
But no, like when you guys got talking about it, and during our meetings was like, wow, this is pretty cool. Like for once, it's usually when you collab with other people, it's like everyone has their own agenda,
Mhm.
right? So you kind of like you do something that mutually benefits you, but at the end of the day, you go your separate ways.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But with the collective, it was more like we'll help each other, and we have our individual craft that we want to like grow, but we do it together. So it's not this one-time thing, and it's like this thing where we keep supporting each other in ways that we can without making it about the finance. It's not like, okay, you gotta pay me this and you pay me that. It's more like, hey, let's help each other out.
Yeah. Let's create
And
something.
Let's create something. Let's all grow together, and maybe someday when we're at the place where we want to be, then we can start talking about money and stuff like that. But yeah, just like that is what I liked about the
Yep.
collective. So pretty excited.
That was
to
some
do
Yoda
that.
stuff you just said.
Yeah.
That's wisdom, man.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's basically it. Like we all had our own art, and we wanted to just combine it together.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's why we're here, I guess.
I mean, and that's also the thing that is very exciting for us to actually bring forward what we do to people that like don't know us yet, because we all have our
Yeah.
audience,
Yep.
Yep.
we all have our followers, but I don't think we cross that much. Like in regard to followers,
Yeah.
like I think we all have individual, unique groups
Mm.
of followers
That's
and people
very
that
true.
know us.
Definitely.
And I think that'll be interesting to kind of differentiate and actually explain as well, because Pat, you're in music.
Yes.
Yeah, Ginge nickname.
Mm.
Also in music.
And music.
Jeremy's in design and filmmaking and all that, in the production, and Glenn is in photography, and I'm in comedy myself. But you're also expanding to more film work, cinematography, and all that. Like,
While working with Jeremy.
while working with Jeremy.
Yeah.
See, that's already on a base level of starting to work to develop your own craft,
Yeah.
but with someone else that's also trying to achieve that goal. But yeah, I guess we can all talk about a little bit, of what we do and how you perceive that as well, like what it's like.
Yeah.
Chill.
Yeah.
Who wants
like-
to start?
Don, you want to start?
Um,
So that's Sombre Visuals.
Yeah, sure.
No, guys.
I'm Glenn Kierman. Most people know me as Sombre Visual. That's my Instagram, everywhere else on social media. I'm a photographer. As Jeff said, I'm trying to enter the world of filmmaking now with Yeremyh Maduro. Photographer based mostly in Aruba, worked a few other places, but I'm a mostly portrait photographer. And yeah, that's about it. I create an event that's called Sombre Sunday. It's a brand thing, Sombre on a Sunday. It's where I bring photographers and models together to work and get more experience, basically. I
Damn.
think that's
Cool.
it.
Like, your story was exciting, man. I got a burp mid explaining, and I was holding the mic away. I was like, please, no, and I think I heard it. So, yeah. No, but
gotta
so
hold it in.
you created your own event based on what you found a passion for, right?
Yeah. Well,
And-
I can't take the whole credit because in Aruba I had a small group that helped me a lot
Yeah.
with the organization and so forth. But yeah,
And how was that for you? Like, because I can imagine I've had it as well, but I'll talk about it later. But like, the first time putting something out publicly in the hopes of gaining like
the
attention
first time
for
I did it wasn't like completely I'm gonna do some event. It was like I want to make more people come together to do a photography. So I didn't make it with the intent to have a large crowd to follow, right? But the second time, as I branded it, and I wanted more photographers and models, I was, let's say, scared, petrified that it wouldn't work. But
Right.
it did. As it grew scarier for me. But so yeah, that's it. I'm really happy with the event.
But I always wanted to ask, what is the main aim of Sombre Sunday actually?
So the main aim is to make photographers and models come together as to work, but it's to give chances to new people. So new models and new photographers, they can come shoot with us. The more experienced photographers, the more experienced models gain experience with us. So it's a community that shares our experience and knowledge together, so everyone can grow.
It is cool because then instead of only being an individual photographer, you're actually bringing a whole community together.
Yeah, that's the whole plan.
That's sick, man.
So we were talking about Sombre Sunday.
Yeah, is there any more question from you guys?
Yeah, let me. Sorry, wait, Mr.
Yeah.
Sombre.
Jeff, you were way in back.
I heard the allegations of
That's not.
Abogado, ¿dónde estás? I didn't know why I went to Spanish, but it's my
You have a
preferred.
Spanish abogado, right?
Yeah. Let's say that.
Cool.
It's
now
my
it's
alter
chill.
ego, I guess. The Spanish guy that
Oh,
lives
yeah.
inside of me.
Ooh.
You?
Spicy.
Yeah.
Madre mia, hey.
Yeah.
What? But that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to hearing like more of what experience you had with like
Yeah.
Sombre and everything. You know?
Yeah, I guess we can share more and more when more podcast comes out. But
Yeah.
yeah, I hate talking about my own experiences. So let's move on to someone else. So Patrick Everon, how's it been, man?
Hello. I'm good. It's
Yeah?
been a really interesting year actually, because if I look back, it's been almost a year ago that I posted my first video on Facebook, and that's basically how I started with the interest, to entertain on social media, to be exact. But now I'm planning on expanding and creating a YouTube channel. But yeah, it's
Nice.
been great. I mean,
By the way, when did you just had a question? When did you start playing, or what's the instrument you play the most?
so I'm basically I'm playing the piano for quite some time now. It started around 8 years old.
Really? Damn.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm really jealous of that.
Well, actually, I started
lucky.
with just singing. Actually, I started singing.
Oh,
That
From
didn't
truth
help.
comes out.
I can sing. Okay, I can sing, but my voice is not made for singing.
You always mentioned
Oh,
your
I
range,
was-
right?
Sorry.
Your range.
Oh, my range is horrible.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
jealous
like-
of
that's
this
like
guy,
crack.
for example.
That's like crack.
And I get
We'll
a
get
lot of
there.
voice
We'll
cracks.
get there, man. We'll get there, bro.
You could give us a little something now.
No. I'm
Just a
not
little
singing.
crack. We're not looking for the sing. We're just looking
All
for
right,
the-
fine. No. I'm not doing that. But
No,
yeah,
yeah.
so basically, I started singing, and then I was, I think I did 1 year in blockflöte. I don't
Oh,
know,
yeah.
a flute, I
The
guess.
flute, yeah.
Flute. And then I got really interested in playing the piano.
Okay.
So around 8 years old. I
So
started.
what's
Mm,
your
that's cool.
YouTube channel about for people that don't know?
So basically, it's kind of the same concept I'm already doing on Facebook. So I just post videos of me playing the piano, or I invite artists to sing, and so we can play music. For example, I did a video with Patrick as well, and we just play and he sings. So it's just for entertainment. So the YouTube channel will be dedicated to that. So I invite artists, or I do solos on piano and just entertain people.
Do you only do covers or more?
I do covers, but I also do like originals, or let's say I try to combine different pieces together.
Also different pieces.
Yeah.
But could you give,
So
like,
for basically what I like to do is either theme songs.
Oh, awesome.
So yeah, I do movie theme songs, video game theme songs. I just love doing that. That's basically.
Do you have
But
a
I-
favorite one? A favorite video game theme song? I heard you the other day you were playing the
Kirby.
the Kirby.
Yeah,
theme song.
that's probably one of my favorite. Yeah,
Yeah.
the
But that's the
Kirby
thing. I
song.
think you have a lot more room for freestyle, right? For
Yes.
like a theme song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, I'm looking forward for the next videos, which I'm planning on doing just freestyle,
Yeah.
just to see how it go. Just improvising and stuff. But yeah, so that's basically what I do.
Jazz.
Nice.
Nice.
Mhm.
Jazz.
Some good stuff.
Nice, dude.
And now I'm trying to integrate my art with this group, and I'm very excited for it.
What?
What you say? What you say, boy?
That's a high pitch.
That's
over there.
Well, that's the thing. So,
Dude, you have range, man. You should try singing.
Oh, everybody can do the falsetto.
so
Everybody.
you're in music, and Pat, you're also doing your own thing with music.
Mhm.
Do you share that? Because you were surprised that Patrick started at 8, right? To
Yeah.
like start to play. How was it for you when you started?
Well, first of all, we were always just there was always music playing in my house, just Earth, Wind and Fire, just Latin music and stuff. But I wasn't really into instruments at first. It was only rap music, like really just like slow motion for me, slow, fucking just rings and shit.
Yeah.
He didn't mean to say rings. By the way.
But then I was horrible at sports. I was the worst at sports. Literally, the guy that was picked the last in the team and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Jeremy, do you have any experience with that?
No, actually, I can't relate to being picked last. For some reason, I was always picked. I can relate to sucking. And I
So you
Just like-
bamboozled the team.
Just to be clear, sucking at sports, right?
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, not sucking dick. I can't relate to that, but
Just to clarify.
yeah. We'll discuss that later.
okay.
But
Friendship. 20 the collective.
Let's go.
That's what's going on right there.
Not to brag or anything, but I was
Oh, I thought
always-
you were gonna go.
Yeah, not to brag.
Another round,
but
I got some good skill. I got some mad skills.
in sports,
brag.
in sports.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I used to always be the first one to be big.
I mean,
All right,
You
so
were
that is
friendly, right?
bragging. Not to brag.
you weren't
but
good
that is
enough
bragging.
because you weren't
You
captain.
guys
of
aren't
the
Yeah,
showing
yeah.
at all. Just like,
You
oh
did
yeah,
better.
my
Yeah.
story. I was
You're not
last
that
team.
great.
Oh, okay. But suck a dick.
Hey, relax. I
Ah.
said not to brag, alright?
That
Let's
the
go
work
back
you-
to Patrick's sucking at
Sports.
sports.
So I
Yeah.
sucked at sports. Then I didn't talk a lot with my dad and stuff. So at a point I opened my mom's where she had all her files and stuff, and I saw this picture where my dad's just young and with his guitar and stuff. I'm like, hey, that's pretty cool. Huh. Maybe if I start playing, maybe we can get like something to like talk about. So I just kind of like, hey, can I get a guitar? He brings 1 week afterwards, 1 week before my birthday, he brings me an accordion. Here, play.
Oh man.
It's almost the same as a guitar.
yeah, it's practically the same.
It has strings.
So I'm just
Not
there
even.
playing. I'm just over there playing like Linkin Park on an accordion and stuff,
Whoa.
Eminem songs, everything
deep.
of Station X, just like
Okay,
so
that's
they-
interesting.
On an
That's-
accordion.
yeah. Just that's when I know like, oh, okay, I got to like hearing. Oh, I'm good at something. Chill.
Where's the accordion now?
Huh?
Where's the accordion now?
He just saw that I was bored with it and got me an actual guitar. Then I just like started learning from day one, and it was just
Cool.
an addiction from then on.
Nice.
Nice man.
He's an awesome guitarist, an awesome musician. So
Not to
So-
Not to brag.
You forgot
Yeah.
to say
Not to
brag.
brag.
he's an awesome
But he's the
musician.
best art. He's the best guitarist in the world. He always got picked first in guitar
Every
sport or
time,
whatever.
Guitar
every
Hero,
time.
play
Yeah,
guitar
guitar here.
in Rock Band. No, but that's the thing.
Thank you very much.
Would you say you forced yourself to actually learn the guitar, or was it kind of free flowing that you were like really understanding it, getting the motion with your hand right and all that?
It was, I don't know, it was just fascinating because I loved figuring it out in some way. It was just okay, you've got tabs with numbers. Oh, what does that mean if I did it? So it doesn't even go with guitar anymore. It turned into like drumming, into keyboard. I just like
The whole package.
yeah. It's just
Yeah, and
Battle of
that's
the
the thing.
bands.
Like you set out a plan to learn how to play guitar in efforts of maybe having a common ground to talk about with your dad, and you put yourself on like that trail or that track of learning how to play the guitar. I've tried it several times. I never get to the point where I realize there are numbers on the freaking thing. Because I always try to do those lessons, but my hands, man,
I fully
they
get what you
cramp
mean.
up, and I'm like,
Fully
it's
get
not for
what you
me.
mean.
I don't. So everyone says like, yeah, you need to like practice it and then loosen up. I think I don't have that much time.
Yeah,
It's always
and oh, sorry, I'm gonna.
totally fine. Go.
Okay, cool.
What
That's
hand
why
motion
I'm-
was that?
rock.
Yeah, it's all rock. rock,
why I
rock, rock.
mentioned,
Oh, fuck, I lost.
It was awesome when you said when you're 8, because sometimes the younger you begin with something, the more you kind
You
of
pick it up,
definitely.
pick it up
yeah,
quicker.
yeah. Uh-huh.
And the thing is, it's always the first year, I would say, that's the hardest
yeah.
because you're not getting you're getting summer, but at a super slow pace.
And it's still based
So-
off what you see and or read, because
Exactly.
you're not exploring it all on your own
Yep.
quite yet. Yeah.
So it can get really boring
Yeah.
in the first phase, but if you get over that, I mean,
It becomes more odd. Yeah, that's kind of like
you'll
the
Yeah.
just fall in love
that's
with
what's
it.
annoying, I would say, because okay, so you maybe you like guitar, and you listen to all these songs that you want to learn how to play. So I'm gonna buy a guitar, I'm gonna take lessons, and then that first year,
full of disappointment.
Yeah, it's like, all right, learn how to do this, learn how to do that. You're like, I just
learning
want
curve,
to play the song.
Yes.
I want to play
that's
Sweet
exactly
Home Alabama or whatever the whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Teach me.
Yeah.
All the songs.
Why is
Yeah.
Sweet Home working?
Alabama, guys. If you want to learn to play the piano, drums, guitar, Sweet Home Alabama,
Alabama
is
is
the
where you
goal.
start. It's the goal. It is the goal. It is the pinnacle. I would say. Once you have that down, you know you can probably play anything. I would say.
Yeah,
You know.
exactly. You can do anything in life. That's
Yeah.
it.
You can play anything. Play something. Anything. That's a
should make a
carnival song, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it is.
For you.
I didn't recognize.
It's like pick up something. Anything. We're from the island, guys. We live for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, actually, on that note, you also played an instrument when you were younger.
Yeah, I remember. I played drums for a while. I love drums.
Yeah.
Awesome instrument.
Yeah, it's an awesome instrument. I love everything with rhythm. I like to. I'm always like.
I
doing
noticed.
something. Did you notice
I
that?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that too,
I'm
man.
like I've
Always
been
do that.
playing and I can hear Jeremy in the background.
Yeah.
I'm always
doing that.
tapping. Yeah, I'm always doing that. I stopped at one point. I guess I just.
You
got
couldn't get to
lazy.
Sweet Home Alabama.
I could. Yeah, you can't. Apparently, you can.
It was so close.
Yet so far. Yeah, it was just like a lack of discipline. I would say. I was young,
and also
so-
time probably, right? Because it's not something that you were dedicating the whole day to.
No, like, I got an Xbox at one point.
Oh,
I
I remember that.
Yeah.
Man, that's
Midnight
That
Club.
happened.
Oh,
Midnight
Midnight
Club.
Club,
Distraction, right?
specifically. Yeah, exactly. I forgot about the drums, you know, and then it kind of
Yeah.
got dusted up, and eventually I sold it. I regret that because I want to get back into it. Actually, I'm thinking of getting the electric ones,
Oh yeah.
so I
Oh,
don't
true. I wanna do that as well,
disturb
man.
people. Huh?
I want to do that as well. Get the
Yeah.
electric ones, not to disturb people.
Yeah.
Because I think I'm
you
that bad
especially.
that if
Yeah.
it's the actual drums. Because I also had a drum set. I had
Yeah.
a saxophone. I had a guitar.
Yeah, the
And
whole
dude-
thing.
Who are you guys?
We're
Oh,
secretly
wait,
musicians.
at your place, right? In the
And
Netherlands.
I got the instruments to start them, like start learning them, and that's as far as I got
Yeah.
to start
Yeah.
learning them. And
Yeah,
then
it's always
I
So
never
there-
learned them.
There
learned
is
how to
an
play.
interest,
The initial-
but there's
Yeah.
like that first
As soon as
initial,
I realized that I don't have progress within like a week or two,
yeah,
I'm like, it's not for me.
right.
Because I feel like within a week you should be satisfied with saying like, oh, you got something like a little bit better, and it wasn't for me.
Now, you know, there's some. I kind of also play the piano. Like,
Ooh, true.
okay,
Yeah, yeah.
here's the thing. Remember
Not
that thing
to
I
brag
said?
about.
Yeah, not to brag,
Yeah,
but
I can play.
Oh yeah.
remember that thing I said about learning the song? Like, you want to just play the song? Like, that's the relationship I have with the piano. So I never really officially learned how to play it, the notes or anything like that. I just go on YouTube and I learn like songs, but I never learned the entire thing. It's just like a piece of it. I'm satisfied. Okay, yeah, I'm done. I'll
can
move
play
on.
this.
Same.
Yeah,
Same.
that's kind of like
I was always someone that got bored very quickly.
yeah,
so it
man.
was just
That's like
oh cool, I can do this. Nice.
yeah. That is a bummer though because you don't really
experience the whole
Yeah.
potential behind it.
like.
Yep.
I was listening to Ginge play the other day. He just puts a song on and he's able to like
Identify,
follow it.
yeah.
Eventually he'll like okay, blah blah blah. Okay, boom, he's on it, and he'll
Yeah,
riff on
yeah,
that. So
I'm
that's really
actually-
cool.
I'm very thankful for
I
that.
really
actually.
respect you for that. You can easily go into covers and stuff.
Mhm.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't.
It's I don't know. It's honestly it's a gift because it's you can. It's I don't know how
It's
to
just in the
explain. You
ears,
just
man.
hear the chords right
Yeah,
right in
we
front
just
of you.
hear
show them your ears.
We just hear the chord.
Look,
Okay.
look at the gift.
So these
Those are the gifts.
these are the gifts.
Gifts
I
of
only have that.
keeps
by
on
the way.
giving.
If you notice.
Oh,
But
man.
Pat, that was the drive, right? You automatically had a drive for the creativity behind music, I would say.
Yeah.
Just experimenting different types of instruments, and that progressed to now. Like, what are you doing now with that?
Well, now I'm here with you guys basically, and it got me to the step of actually putting everybody like because I've been the person just helping people with a lot of project the last years.
Yeah.
But it's finally like, okay, wait, I'm gonna actually do me. Okay, let's make an album. Let's do the whole shebang. So I finally changed my artist name to Code Noir, and it actually result in me in the beginning process of being signed. So that's just
Mind
Mind
blowing
blowing,
right there.
man.
Yeah.
Mind
That's
blowing.
good stuff, man.
even this
it's
right
cool.
now, man. It's
It's unreal. Yeah, man. I have high hopes for this group and also your career, man. Like,
Mhm.
Yep.
it's exciting times.
yeah,
Like-
yeah, for us all, man.
Yeah.
It's like just
Yeah.
bizarre, please.
Yeah.
Because we're all like legit just starting from the bottom
Yeah.
and just crawling our way up
Yeah.
as we can and
Yep,
do what
Yeah.
we try to do.
And it's always easier with people, backing you up.
Yeah, true love.
Yeah.
You gotta get that support.
I mean, with those years, man. Like,
yeah, I know they,
you're
those
walking.
ears,
they
yeah.
can come in handy.
I've been looking
No.
for a good pair of ears for a while.
For a while.
I think I finally found some.
Normally they're so expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, talking about that, I think we can jump into what you do, Jeremy, because
Yeah.
you already talked about the music background a little
Mhm.
bit, like the instrument playing
Yeah,
background.
that's just hobbies though. So
Yeah.
it's like,
Mhm.
So I feel like still having a connection with one, I would say, field, but your whole craft. What's that all about?
How did you start? Because
pretty random. Like, I remember when I was in elementary school, like, I wanted to become like a baseball player. Like that was my big dream.
on
And yeah, but you know, like your story, I wasn't actually good at it. I remember going for a tryout and I didn't get in. Like, so I yeah,
He's laughing because he
yeah,
played
no,
baseball.
no,
He was
no,
a
no.
pro. No.
No. Because it's funny. Because normally everyone gets into the tryout if it's a team. Because
Yeah.
it's not professional.
yeah.
That's why it's
I was
funny.
yeah. Well, goddamn.
Now I'm trying to.
I think I
Picture.
even did baseball.
Yeah.
Did we do it at the same time?
I remember we were in a group. We were
In
all
Noir,
like,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
we were all like
Going.
for it. There were a couple of, we were really into it back then, but yeah, I had to scratch that dream immediately, so I jumped onto the next thing. And I always had like a passion for film, like especially animated films.
Oh,
So that's what I wanted to do beforehand. I wanted to get into animation, drawing, stuff like that. Quickly figured out how difficult and how time consuming it is. Like back in those days, it took like 4 years to finish one animated film. And just the thought of that, I was like,
You were like, that's
Did
4
you-
years for a whole film.
Yeah,
What's
yeah.
a frame?
yeah, exactly.
Did you ever work with? There was this software, Flash. So you made like frame to frame.
I even experimented with that.
yeah, it was pretty fun. Like
Yeah,
just
Flash
making-
is yeah, I didn't even open the program. That's like how.
I remember
Lazy.
messing
Yeah.
around with that, and
Yeah.
it was just like the patience that you need for the frames. Because I was like,
Yeah.
I was cheating at a certain point. I was
Right.
like, we're gonna jump 5 frames.
yeah.
Fucking go with it.
Yeah.
Didn't work.
You get
Yeah, exactly.
So
They the after rendering catches that.
Yeah.
I was like, nah.
Yeah, I do want
that's
to get
pretty awesome.
to it at one point. I don't know how. Like maybe I'm not the one making it. Like I have a team or something, but I do want to, eventually make something.
An animated,
An
short
animated-
film or like a production at least. Yeah.
Exactly. But so I decided to I studied filmmaking in the U.S. Did that for a couple of years, and I worked there for a year to like gain experience afterwards, like at a production company where I was mainly just editing. But I quickly realized that it didn't feel enough. Like I think okay, I know where my passion is how do you say,
Where it lies or something.
where it lies. Yeah, it's thinking of the stories, like creating the stories. It's less about the ground,
final
the work. It's more about
the creation itself.
The creation
basically,
itself. Yeah. Despite that, I came back and worked for a couple of years at ad agency. Oh, by the way, that's something else. I didn't mention that. Aside from filmmaking, I have a passion for design, which is something that I always done at the side, but I didn't realize I could really make it into a career. I just did it while I was making films or doing
just
projects.
Man. I still have the Rasta Chameleon.
Rasta, holy shit!
Rasta chameleon.
Yeah.
He drew a Rasta chameleon for the back of a flip book project that we had to make.
Something like that.
You still have it?
I still have it.
Dude, I want to see that.
We gotta see that.
Yeah.
We gotta see it.
On the second podcast, maybe show it or.
If I can, I mean, I don't have it here. Obviously,
okay.
what I do have here is a movie that we made,
Oh man,
documentary,
Documentary.
if you will,
or a mockumentary.
a mockumentary.
Yeah.
It's definitely a mockumentary, and I have that here in the Netherlands actually.
Oh
on
man,
DVD.
I want to give that a watch.
Yeah,
I don't know if we should show it to the
They-
rest of the
they
group.
gonna see it.
I'm pretty curious
Yeah?
right now. So
Yes,
yep. let's do that.
if you want cringe,
ASAP.
the best cringe,
You want to? Yeah, you'll
for this
watch
year,
that movie.
you
I
should
mean-
watch the movie.
I think we all had to do at some point something for school, for example, with filming and stuff.
Yeah.
And if you see it,
Yeah.
and if you go look
Yeah.
at it back,
But it's not even on that level, man. Like,
that
because
bad?
this was production.
Yeah,
Like, it was supposed to be a 5-minute short film with quick story and everything.
Yeah.
Our movie was 31
30
minutes.
minutes. Yeah,
You went all out.
we
You
went all out, man.
We had
went
a whole
episode.
case,
Yeah,
actual description. The DVD was labeled.
everything. Yeah, we had an intro, a production an official production company at the beginning. Dude, like
holy shit.
the amount of effort we put into that, like, but that's where you can see, like,
Nerds.
yeah,
Yeah, we just let our minds just run
Yeah.
free. Like, we didn't cap it and then try to be like, no, we have to play by the rules. We were like, nah, this is what we're
nah,
gonna
we
make.
just want to make
Yeah.
something cool, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's always been the sentiment.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah, and I think that was just a quick thing. I think that was always my motto. You have to suck before you get good,
Yeah.
because it's just
I think that's a model for a
Cost.
lot of people.
dude. Oh no, you're just talented. Nah, no. This was struggles and
Yeah.
years of just
Oh,
being
yeah.
horrible at it.
I can't relate.
Oh, I can't relate.
Not to brag, but
Not to brag, but you know,
brag, you know,
these
but,
years speak for themselves. So.
And being like, wow, easy.
No, but that's true. Everything, I think, most things take a lot of dedication.
And it depends
Especially
on how much
art.
you want to invest.
Yeah. The more you invest, you can see your progress.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Because otherwise, I'd be a drummer now or piano
Yeah,
player.
exactly.
So
A saxophone player.
investment is the
Key.
major key
Yeah,
right
and
there.
you gotta have a lot of patience, I would say.
Yeah, that's
That's
a
true.
general sense. Like
Yeah.
I think as on like the older you get, the more patience you appreciate. I would say because
Mhm.
usually you're on a short fuse, and then
Yeah.
the older you get,
it's-
you're like, okay, I don't need to.
I see
stress
it
about too
over and
much.
over again.
Yeah.
True.
All right, but to conclude the story, I guess, like, yeah, I just been working. It's like kind of like Ricao, like you've been working on other people's projects for a while, like you've been but eventually you realized like you want to do your own thing. So that is kind of what's happening with me right now. I've worked with a lot of people on different productions, all sorts of things. And I realized, okay, now it's time to get my own name out there, do my own things, because it's fun, but you get tired of, there's stories you want to tell. There's things you want to try out, and like that's where I'm at right now. That is both with filmmaking and design, actually.
And that becomes automatically more exciting because it's your own stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Taking that
So
step.
it's a lot of freedom. You're
Mhm.
gonna just explore what you can do, you know, at
Yep.
your max potential, hopefully.
Yeah, and
for
that's what you combine together. So filmmaking and design for
Yeah.
25-25.
Yeah. Okay, I'll be honest, 25-25 for now, I just see as focused on design,
Okay.
especially design for creatives. I don't really want to get into for a while, I was in the corporate world and the commercial world, and it gets, for me, pretty boring,
Yeah.
right? I think
Honest.
It's kind of repetitive.
It's repetitive.
Yeah.
At least I think with creatives, because you're both creatives,
Mm-hmm.
there's more leeway to experiment and try new things,
Yeah.
which is what I'm interested in. It's more like an expression of art and, that. So that is what 25 is about. Filmmaking, it's more on my own. Me and Glenn, we're kind of like a team right now, but it's on my own name. I'm
Okay.
using, we're taking different roles at different times for different projects. So at some point, I take the cinematographer role.
Mm-hmm.
Other times, I'm gonna be directing or writing.
You get the opportunity to really experiment with every single
Everything. Yeah.
position basically for in the production world.
Yeah.
Everything. Yeah.
Yeah, just the idea of being stagnant and doing one thing for a long time is not
Yeah.
something that.
You don't want to get back into that
Exactly.
right away. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or hopefully ever. Like,
Yep.
Keep switching it is always better. Yeah.
Exactly.
Nice.
What about you, Jeff?
Oh, what about me?
Yeah.
Yeah, how did you get a comedian? Because comedian definitely is a very, especially because, okay, in Aruba, you only had one comedian specifically,
Mhm.
Vale.
Yeah.
How did you, like, comedian? How did you get there?
So I failed at everything else. Now
The saxophone thing didn't work
Yeah,
out.
the
it's
saxophone. I wanted to be Kenny G, didn't work.
You wanted
No.
to become a mechanic, but
That's the thing. So my whole career path choice, I think it differed per amount of years. Like, since I was from when I was a kid, I wanted to be a mechanic, just like my dad. That was the main thing I talked about when you had to be like, when I grow up, it was always that, like being a mechanic. Then to one point, I wanted to become a police officer because I think it's just
Really?
dope. Yeah.
That's sick.
I
I
just
wanted to
think
be a
it's dope.
fireman, bro.
In another universe, we'll be working to do something.
yeah.
Did you actually get the, how do you say the thing you have to,
The requirements or the application?
the application? Did you get it for the police officer?
Oh no, I was still a kid.
Oh, I got it. I had it in my hand.
Oh really?
I was
Really?
about to.
So basically, I was still a kid, and I think it was right about the time where there was that fatal shooting at one of those bank heists.
Oh.
And then my mom was like, "Nah, like you can't. Like it's dangerous. Like apparently, it got real quick.
Yeah.
Like in Aruba, it's usually just calm stuff, some things, and then all of a sudden there was this
One
chaos
shooting.
going on. Yeah, there's one shooting, and everyone was like, "Yo."
No.
Damn.
Yeah. And I think that's where I changed back. I think it went back to being a mechanic. And as I got older, it wasn't really on my mind what I wanted to do anymore.
Yep.
And then they had that question in high school. They're like, what do you want to do? Like, you have to figure that out in like 2 years. I was like,
Yeah.
holy shit, I need more than 2 years, man.
Too much pressure.
I
lot of
was
pressure.
14 at that point, and I was like, if it took me 14 years to get here with
Yeah.
not knowing, 2 years ain't going to do shit.
Yeah. Exactly.
So eventually, it just kept looping from being a mechanic to trying something different. Nothing in the creative world, I would say, up until the point where in high school we had
Yeah.
to make creative videos, and we released quite a lot. I would say,
Yeah,
I think like 5, 6
something
projects
like
that we
that.
did just in that time span of like a year and a half, I think.
Mhm.
And then I was like, "Yo, this is what I want to do. I want to do filmmaking because I like we were on the same page. We even wanted to study in the same university in or same college
Yeah.
in the U.S. And then
we worked at the same place after
Yeah,
school.
we worked at the same place after
Same
school and all
production
that.
company.
So we had our fair share of experience with actual clients and with an actual production,
Mm-hmm.
and it was fun.
Yeah.
Sometimes it could have been tense, but that's just any job.
Yeah.
But I think the idea of having had created something that was on TV afterwards was that was amazing.
Dude.
Like seeing your name, in the
That
credits,
first
you're like,
time seeing your name in that credit. Holy
remember
crap.
that.
we
Yeah,
watched
that's
every
like
single thing we
official.
made.
Sick.
Dude, we took pictures of that. I remember like
Yeah.
yo.
That was like
Yeah,
legit. It was
that's
such a good
awesome,
feeling,
Yeah.
man. Like
Yeah.
creating something and then people seeing like people actually tuning in to something they never watch
Yeah.
just to see what you made. I was like, yeah, that's dope.
That's
That's
dope.
dope.
That
Yeah.
feeling is always rewarding, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's when it kind of turned to something creative for me. Having that drive of creating something that people are like, okay, that's like impressive, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Not that I'm bragging at all that it was, but back then I was like, oh, this is
Yeah,
amazing.
Oh, it's here. It's
Yeah.
real. What?
And then that's where the whole future planning unraveled into how would I become a filmmaker? How would I do film school? It was only the U.S. That was the only option for me because they had the raw style film schools.
Yeah.
But in like that goes together with a very high tuition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that was the main problem for me back in 2000 or back at the end of 2012, I would say. And then I made the proper financial choice of not going there and then stressing out on the payment and then maybe not finishing it.
Yeah, that's basically I would say the main reason
Yeah.
why a
It's
lot
a lot
of
of stress.
students don't go to the US.
It's a
Because
lot
I
of
was
stress.
also, my mind was also set to go to the US,
Yeah.
you know, study there and stuff.
likewise.
But then you hear about the
The
financial,
inflation,
yeah,
yeah.
it's
It's
crazy.
crazy.
So,
It's crazy.
you know,
And so I was still in the creative mindset, wanted to do film. Started checking out what they had to offer here in the Netherlands. This might sound mean to some, I don't know, but I was highly disappointed. I was deeply disappointed.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I was
the
like,
core.
because they want to combine filmmaking with history and art history. Like the majority of the places. They have official film schools, but those are very prestigious.
Right.
So those are the ones that you have to do a whole show, and then you can kind of get the opportunity of applying, and then going through like stages of like applicants and all that. That was not my option because they required a lot of proof of work and everything that you did on your own. So I went to the accessible filmmaking level, and that was just not what I wanted to do because it was just like art history and whatnot.
Yeah.
Could be wrong. I didn't do it. So yeah, who knows? So I ended up doing media entertainment management, and I figured at first I was like,
Boo. Boo.
at first I was like, okay, let's see, maybe this can have the business side of it, and it did. Like I learned a lot more of the actual business element
Yes,
of
true.
entertainment, so it was very useful. And then along the line, or at least I thought it was very useful.
yeah, by the way, we all did the same. Well,
Yeah, so-
us three, we
yeah.
did the same study here in Leeuwarden.
Yeah.
Hey, wait.
Oh, actually, yeah.
I started
Going to-
MEM as well, right? I started
He
it.
founded MEM
Well,
in 19.
I founded MEM in
let's make it
1948.
very clear. We all started MEM
Yeah.
because I think we're all at the same.
Well,
Yeah,
I started
it's
the
a
first
matter-
year, right? Let's make it clear.
I'm in some year.
That's something.
So what I was saying, I tried to get that business element into it, kind of.
With MEM.
Yeah, with MEM, but I mean together with filmmaking. So
Okay.
I figured like, okay, look, I'll get the business degree, and then I'll pursue filmmaking, because if that fails, I always have the business degree.
You gotta have plan B.
You gotta have the business degree in order to
Yeah,
make
yeah.
that plan work.
Yeah. When plan B is shit.
I completely zoned right there.
And so then eventually I was on this path of like, okay, because I started MEM in The Hague, by the way.
Yeah.
I didn't even start it here in Leeuwarden. Then I went back to wanting to become a mechanic because I figured, hey, might as well get the paperwork and then open up a shop here in the Netherlands, and then just creating my whole own scene, like for the car thing, basically. Deep into cars, people that know me know how deep into cars I am, and those who don't, check out my Instagram. No, okay.
Jeff Maduro.
doesn't have cars.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Around Jeff Maduro that has cars on Instagram.
And then eventually, I just decided, whatever, we'll just run with it with the business degree with MEM and everything. And then randomly in 2016, I decided to join a talent show. And then someone was like, yeah, you should, try something. And I was like, oh, all right, why not? And I decided to do stand-up. Because ever since I was a kid, I was always like joking around, but never to pursue anything. I think because I'm a dick.
Just
So I was
joking
like-
around.
Yeah, I was like always just
Dick
joking
around.
around and not the right time, not the right place. And then now, like back in 2016, I was like, yeah, why not? Let's try it out. And I don't know what it was about it, but obviously nervous, like extremely nervous to just go out on stage. And then actually performing material that I wrote, it was about my childhood. I figured that's funny. And it worked. And I felt so
I remember that.
fulfilled. I was like, yo, this is my calling.
Yep, that
like
stage,
finally,
man.
you feel it,
Yeah.
And it went downhill from there.
And now you're on a podcast with 4 different guys.
Yeah. No, but that's
That's weird.
I know, that's why.
I mean, I
5 guys. One
I tried to
podcast.
like develop it from there, see where it would take me.
5 mics.
5 mics. ASMR.
All right. By the way, I said 5 guys, one podcast.
5 guys, burgers and fries.
You tried that joke earlier already.
Yeah, it
But
didn't work.
he said 5 guys, 5 mics.
Okay, it was funnier.
Get it right.
It was funnier.
Patrick, you have
funnier
good ears,
joke,
man. You have
Come
good
on.
eyes.
Good ears, no funny bone in.
Now you wanna
Ooh.
take this guy's job
I don't
away
want.
from him?
I don't want to brag, but
I don't want to brag, but I am funny. Like, I have better
Okay.
jokes than this guy, and I do
By
write
the
all
way-
his materials.
Ghostwriter.
Let's leave the
Well,
funny
that's-
guys to
To
Jeff,
Jeff.
right? So
yeah, Jeff officially holds that title.
the funny guy.
Funny
Do
guy.
it.
Funny guy.
Funny guy.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a
Unlocked.
comedian. I hope so.
Yeah, true, same. No, but then I just ran with it a bit to do it on the side, try it out, and eventually, back in 2017, like that was, so I'd say a gap of like 5 months since the first time I did it.
Yeah.
5 months later, had a talk with Jeremy. I was like, yo, we should do a one-man show, line up like a full hour set of stand-up.
Yeah,
And
Back in
just-
Aruba.
we ran with it.
yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, because we were this yet again. We were outside of a house.
That's when
We were
magic
like-
happens.
Yeah,
Yeah. Then we went to get some food, and then we were just, we got to do this
yeah,
because we were both looking for something
Else.
else and
Yeah.
challenging, and just seeing what we can do. The two of us, because we
Right.
didn't have anyone
Anything,
else on
no.
board,
no,
and then we just ran with it, and we made it happen for that summer. So that was, I think, back in March of that year, and then we just hit it up for August. Like,
you know what's crazy? Like that kind of proved something. I remember, like at that point,
Shoot.
how you can make something happen from nothing.
yeah,
Because
Just this small idea, this moment.
it's just like a decision, right? Because we
Yeah.
don't know anyone in that industry, especially in Aruba. It's small to non-existent.
exactly.
You would think you need a team behind you, like for marketing, for booking, for everything, the whole setup. But we were like, we don't have anything. We don't know anyone. We don't have any money. But we do want to
We
try.
want to try it, yeah.
Yeah. So we were like, let's.
And I
just-
think that's the part where
Yeah.
usually it stops for people. They're like, it's not close to possible. It's more close to impossible.
It stays to like an idea in their head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have to jump from it and literally
Take
make
the
it
leap.
Exactly.
out.
Take the leap.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And from that moment that we were like, no, we're just going to do this, we started the planning. And it took me like months to get a venue because
Yeah.
I didn't know where to go. Like, I tried to get the main theater hall.
Yeah.
They
In
didn't
Aruba.
answer. And then I
Yeah.
found out the prices. I was like, yo,
Crazy.
can't
fucking
afford
crazy.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we did that with one sponsor in the end. So we got the venue, Crystal Theater, and one sponsor.
Yeah.
And just like contacting where we could for some interviews and that.
Yeah.
And I had so much fun. There were
Yeah.
30 people in the crowd.
Yeah.
The theater had seats for 350.
Nice.
I was so ecstatic about 30 people.
Yeah.
I was like, yo,
Awesome.
30 people showed up.
Yeah.
And then we did it again.
Right.
Like, I was like, let's keep doing this. And then it went from 30 people to 90 people. And last year, 205 people.
Yeah.
I'm like, check it.
Nice,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah,
It just
Fucking
keeps growing.
check it.
Yeah.
The satisfaction of that
Dude,
must
it's
be
amazing, man.
It's dope.
Yeah.
And that, yeah, I mean, the main thing that we also really pressured on was like social media.
Mm.
Because we both studied in the senses of new age technology
Mm.
advancement for filmmaking. For Mem was like everything's about marketing. So I had that plan, but you can't implement a European kind of like advanced plan in Aruba, I would say. Because that's, it's there, but it's not to that extent. So you have to go back to the basics of where to start with it. And that, in the end, it did get to a point. Now it is at a point where everything's kind of done online. Like the whole marketing scheme or schedule thing
Right.
is online now. In Aruba as well, I mean. And then I was like, okay, I'll just start uploading videos as I go. And it didn't really pick up anything because I had like 70 likes on my page.
Yeah.
People were giving me shit for it. I was like, yo, it doesn't like blow up overnight.
Right.
But it did.
It did. It did.
January 15th, 2019, man. When I released that freaking video of that Dutch guy that was 3 weeks on the island.
Yeah.
That thing went.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's my most viral video to this day.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
It's-
crazy.
yeah.
It's crazy what works. Like, it's
Uh-huh.
like
Yeah.
unpredictable,
Thing.
right?
The most random idea. And you're
Yeah.
like, well,
Yeah.
how did that work?
Exactly.
And the one you put effort into it, it's like,
It's all about the
Exactly.
timing, man. It's
Yeah.
all about the
Time.
timing.
Yeah.
I
like
think.
the person that coincidentally just saw it
Yeah.
and then sent it out or shared
Mhm.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has a lot of
Everyone
Seeing
was
it,
watching.
it's-
I remember at work, people were watching it in the
That's-
morning. You're like,
Mm.
hey, check this out. I'm like, dude, that's my fucking friend.
That's Jeff.
Yeah.
I didn't tell
And they were
anyone.
like, "Come on, Jeremy, you don't know this." Guy.
Yeah. we
tell
shared the same
anyone,
last
man.
name, motherfucker.
You're like, look, that's him.
Yeah.
Ah, come on.
It was funny because I didn't tell anyone I was uploading, man. I just dropped that in the morning. I remember I had to do a parts run for the shop in the garage, and I was like, I gotta film this. Like on the way to get parts, I just stopped somewhere, filmed it in the car, quickly edited it on my phone, uploaded it, and then went to work.
Yeah. Came back.
I was like, yo,
You know what was cool about that? It was really it had like elements of Dutch and for Aruba, so it
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
connected those
Yeah,
two
the
crowds.
both
It
was-
was
yeah.
brilliant, man.
Exactly.
Good story.
Yeah.
I mean, I think at some point it was shared on the dumper, right?
yeah, it was
Yeah.
like,
And
in
that's
the Netherlands
that's when
as
you
well,
know.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
dude.
That got a lot of attention. I think.
Something like
It's
that.
a whole other platform.
Yeah.
But,
But I
that's,
mean, that's funny to see because Jeremy and I, we met back in kindergarten.
Yeah.
Like, we know each other for like 20-something years now.
A while, yeah.
And we didn't
dear.
have to always, like, stay in contact in order for the friendship to last and everything. But I think it's funny how we all met.
Yeah.
Because
Mhm.
that's random, I would say.
I mean, yeah. If you think about it, it's just a mix of coincidence and your line
Environment,
of
the
your
group.
circle of friends, and
Yeah.
you know, because okay, I think most of us got to know each other through another. Well,
Through
yeah,
some via someone else? Yeah, definitely.
For
Mo-
example, this
Most
guy.
of mine are just random.
Yeah, likewise.
Yeah.
I mean, we came to the Netherlands.
Yeah, I
the
just
same year.
stood beside you in the airport of
And you were the
Curaçao
hero.
and threatened you with you stealing the house I wanted to
Uh-huh.
live in. That's basically how I met you.
But I
was
mean,
supposed to
we
live
gotta.
with you? Stop.
No.
That's the
I
first
was
interaction we have with them.
I was supposed to live in the house that you guys lived in.
Ah,
So
Oh, yeah,
they
that's
they
basic.
changed the
Nice.
Look at how much of a hero Glenn was, man. He was mad at you guys, but yet he
still
saved you.
saved
Yeah.
your
I mean, he
life.
literally saved some people from
The bus
Not to
So-
brag.
Not
Not
to
to brag,
brag.
but this guy got a medal because we actually on the first day
It's
in
not
the
a
Netherlands.
medal.
It's
It's a small ass pin. Breakbench.
how do you call
I
it?
don't
got
know.
a flag
Really?
pin.
You
Not
got-
even 100
No.
euros. A flag pin.
Falling from a bus. And then
From
bus-
falling from saving
All right,
some
so
people. Right?
wait, we gotta give context.
Yeah.
So basically, on the first day, we arrived
The
in the
first day
Netherlands.
of Christmas, the bus fell in the
The freaking- how do you call them? Like a slope?
slope.
Slut.
Ooh,
Sloth.
what's the
Slope.
yeah?
So basically, a bus
Creek.
fell into
Creek.
a
Specifically, yeah.
Let's
Quagmire, no.
write sloth in your Google Translate and search for it in English.
Yeah. So that
Okay,
was the
so-
first day back in 2013.
Dude,
First
that was
day
so
in
random
the
from my
Netherlands.
side though,
Ditch.
because
Ditch.
Alright.
he was gonna live with me,
Say
and
bitch
just out
or
of nowhere,
ditch?
my mom texted me like, "Hey, are your friends okay? The bus fell. What?
the bus. So we went from Schiphol. We had to drop some students off in Leeuwarden first, and then go to Groningen. So in Leeuwarden, our bus actually,
They literally
just-
dropped us.
yeah,
They stepped over into the ditch.
dropped us in a ditch.
Yeah, with
And
water.
you know, like in movies, you see the glass breaking, and then the water
comes
starts.
in.
Yeah, that's when everybody panicked, and then Glenn just smashed the window.
No joking, I had half of my face into the water and people on me, so I was. Let's
So
say
you were the
it
reason why
was-
water was coming in. You smashed the window.
Yeah, I was the one. I was like,
We're all
It's a
going
movie
down.
moment. Everything slow mo. Nuh-uh. Gosh.
man, I was half asleep, so I was petrified.
Yeah.
So that's the thing I remember, because a lot of people were just sleeping.
Yeah.
So you can imagine you
Ooh,
just
dude.
being in your, you know,
But you,
You're safe.
you weren't sleeping. You told
No.
me that you interacted with the bus driver. You
no.
had a moment in the
Wait,
mirror.
were you the cause
so
of the
much like
crash?
you, man. It's your
we,
fault.
okay, so
He
basically
just
what
ran,
happened.
Hey, what's that over there? Fucking falls into the
No,
ditch.
the thing is, I looked into the mirror, he looked at me, and we just had a stare off.
It was
Oh,
like
yeah,
the moment
you're
of
gonna-
Titanic.
Yeah. So he wasn't looking in front of the road.
Holy shit.
So a lot of people
You
were,
caused it. I mean,
Yeah, dude. Now
if
you
it's,
know.
this is
7
a new
years later.
revelation
Yeah.
for me, and I think we have a problem.
Dude, people
still-
died that
If-
day, man. Nah,
people
They
got
had-
hurt.
They
Yeah,
could have if
they
it
could've.
wasn't for me.
No, the thing is, I was like, nah, this is not gonna happen. You know,
yeah.
is you just see this in movies. So
Yeah.
as the bus was, you know, going
Tipping
more,
over?
yeah, just how do you say,
Sliding down.
I was like, okay, this is gonna happen. So
Oh,
I was ready
shit.
for it.
Ooh.
But I remember when the bus fell. I mean, it's an impact. So
Yeah.
a lot of people just
Flew out of their
Yeah,
seats.
flew
yeah.
out
Holy shit.
against the window, and you can imagine waking up to that.
Yeah.
Waking
It's-
up to that, you're like, what the?
Then you're slapping yourself again. Wake up! You think it's a dream?
Wake up.
Wake up!
Make up.
So, yeah. So that was our first day in the Netherlands. Me and
Yeah.
Glenn, we had a.
And
bus
that's how
ride.
you ran into each other at the airport.
Yeah.
Chaos.
Never seen each other before. Nope.
Never. So
What a
then,
fucked up way.
You were in Groningen. Pat, you also lived in Groningen before, right?
Yeah.
And how did you guys meet in the end? Or did you already know Pat from...
I didn't.
Uh,
Well, we kind of.
They wrote by accident 2 Patricks in one place, right?
Mm-hmm.
oh, by accident?
Yeah, by accident.
Oh.
And then, because he was supposed, I think you guys were supposed
Supposed to get that house.
that
yeah.
house. I don't know what
By the
happened,
way-
but we ended up.
I was homeless because of that. For 2 weeks.
A hero and homeless.
Almost.
Guys, if you want to donate,
Donate to Sombre Visuals.
Now, enter the.
yeah, the number on the screen, please follow that and help out.
So
What were we talking about
we
again?
were talking about how we.
how we
actually-
met Patrick,
Yeah, yeah,
basically.
yeah.
So, Ginge met Patrick with a mistake.
Of
uh,
being signed in the
being-
same house.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was coincidence.
like,
They stole your house. Your
They stole
homeless
my
were doing a
house, yeah.
crowdfunding and donation thing.
Yeah. And I met Patrick once when I came to vacation at a park.
Yeah. My first impression
Yeah.
of this guy, it's like, what is he doing? Do people do that?
I
And
mean,
then But then that was my fixed, just like vision of you, and then you randomly came to my place because you thought you'd see him, and it's like,
he was busy.
hey, what's up, man? Hey, do you like tea? Yeah. Do you like chocolate? Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's make some.
Sounds like a very sketchy situation.
By the way, he always used to come to our place to see me for some reason, and he ends up.
It wasn't
True.
always.
True. You wanted-
the
you wanted
first
to-
few times was you.
Yeah, you wanted to
Afterwards,
chill.
I wanted to chill with Patrick
Yeah.
and so.
But how?
But-
Okay, how? But how did you start to hang out?
We were going clubbing a lot.
Okay, and
Yep.
then
Yeah,
eventually
and they were
you ran
neighbors of my sister, so
You saw him
not
in
a
that
lot.
area.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yep.
And Avang.
Avang.
Yeah.
Avang
Oh,
was
yeah,
also.
yeah,
yeah.
that fun actually.
Yeah.
True. I forgot
Yeah.
about that.
But I have to make something clear. We didn't make chocolate. We only made tea. I had the chocolate in my bag already.
Okay.
So let's make
Ah,
that clear.
Yeah, you
That's-
don't want it to be fully on that romantic.
Yeah.
What about the strawberries? Did that come before or after?
They were already
baby,
in
oh,
the
baby.
chocolate. Because
Oh,
I
wow.
bought the Milka chocolate with strawberries in it.
And it, oh,
So that's a funny remark you
Oh.
made there, right?
yeah.
Oh, yeah. You're a funny guy, huh?
they call me
Mr. Funny.
Mr. Funny. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
was my nickname in
And
in a
I
world.
mean,
And
I knew Ginge from high school
Mhm.
because I was in his sister's class, and then we would have projects and stuff that we ran into you at your
Yeah.
place in Aruba.
But I mean, I wouldn't say we knew
No,
each other.
no,
from
but we were
we-
acquainted.
Yeah, we
Acquainted,
knew
yeah.
each other's names, and I always used to greet you,
Yeah.
talk to you. For
He used to greet me. I didn't greet him back.
yeah, I was like,
I was like, nah.
The way,
and then I
across
always
school, right?
ran to your car just to
this guy
annoy
was
him.
annoying, man. Trying to have
oh,
a
he
conversation.
did he really use
I don't think he even-
You know,
Yeah, car.
me back then. I used
Yo,
to be
no,
too
but-
You did?
social,
Yeah.
so I didn't even know him that well. But
So,
I
but
ran to his
eventually-
car and just talked to him.
Yeah,
for-
so that was like before we went to the Netherlands. That's when we started to interact a lot.
Yeah,
more.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Then he would do that. He would run to the car when I dropped off his sisters, and it was like,
Mm.
"Oi," and talking. I was like, Jesus.
Hoi.
Hoi, hoe gaat het met je?
Hoi, alles goed.
Gezellig, hè? Ja, gezellig. Ah, mooie auto.
Mooie bak.
Lekker bak, hoor.
But yeah, in the Netherlands, it was when we started.
Well, we were like hanging out, me,
yeah,
you,
in
and
the Ha-
my
you,
ex.
you came down to the Hague a lot. And
Yeah,
we
yeah,
used
yeah.
to we used to hang out there. That's when we started to hang out.
Mhm.
Jeremy, you just really got to know him now, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
actually,
this is the most we've ever hung out. Like
Yeah.
before, we were just acquainted at school. We
Yep.
know of each other's existence.
Mhm.
I know.
Of
I
his
was in
ears,
her.
yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
I was in her sister's class as well.
Yeah.
I remember we had a project once so that's why I know exactly where you live.
Mm.
In
Oh,
Aruba.
that's why you know where I
Yeah.
live, right?
Yeah, that
Yes,
and all
yes.
the visits that I made during the night. Anyways,
But,
yeah, just
yeah.
remember. I think the first time I saw you was there at her house,
Mm.
and
at her house.
yeah,
the
not
sister.
yours.
Not
It's
yours.
hers, right? And we were in her room, and eventually she opened the door.
Yeah.
And he was just in there.
There was another room.
Oh,
Apparently,
yeah.
and there you were.
Just gaming,
behind,
like-
no, you were behind the piano. You were fucking.
Oh, it's either playing the piano or
He was
Playing
locked
games.
away in the
Like-
back
something
closet.
Yeah, it was fucking random.
yeah.
Yeah,
and-
but I do remember you being pretty good at it from then already.
Aw.
Oh,
And,
legit. Oh, moment.
Stroke my ego.
So that's how
Oh.
you two kind of like saw each other for the first time.
Yeah, that's what I.
Glenn
I
and
think we
I
started
think-
hanging out.
The first
In
time
the
I
room.
met you was I was
Our time is
Clubbing?
over.
Yeah.
and
So you were clubbing.
yeah, you came to
I was on the
Groningen,
street. Yeah.
and some friend of ours
hmm
told me you have to meet this guy. And when people say that, I kind of
You're like, this is not gonna be anything
not gonna
great.
happen. Not
Yeah.
gonna. I don't like that
That's the
style.
overhype, you know.
Yeah.
And I was minding my own business. So
Yeah. This guy's. You know this guy, right?
Yeah.
This guy. So yeah, that's about it. I met you because of this guy, and let's move on.
No,
I'm
but-
kidding. But yeah, you were chill.
Yeah, because we just said like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
We
Hi.
didn't really blink.
How's it going?
Yeah.
Good.
We
Yeah.
didn't blink too much at
Oh.
it. I would say like we didn't say like, oh, cool, like we're best friends or anything like that. It was just
Yeah.
because a mutual friend knowing
Yeah.
you. But then we met in school.
Yeah.
That's when it really
True.
it got there.
Kind of hung out a bit.
Yeah.
But I would say our friendship group when I went back to Aruba
Mm-hmm.
and you were making your moves in the
Mhm.
comedy world. And
Yeah, and
It's
I
about 2
remember
years.
I contacted you for
Yeah.
the photos of
Yeah.
the second show. No,
No,
it was the
the first show.
no
the first show
second
in Aruba.
one. Did I contact? Oh wait,
Yeah, it was. I shot the
Yeah.
first
because
cover.
the one
Yeah.
the
Of
one
all
for
of you got it.
like me contavo.
Yeah.
You did that? I thought you did that one.
Didn't I do it in my room?
No.
Oh, I don't know. I wasn't there.
I did it in. Ooh, I did it in my living room with the
the curtain. thing.
curtains.
Yeah, but that was the second show.
Was it?
The one in English. The one in Papiamento. We did it your place. Remember?
Oh, that is
Like,
true. I
yeah.
took the first picture.
Was it a
The one-
live show of you?
Yeah, the Papiamento one. We didn't.
Did I go to that show?
I don't know. I don't think we
Kind
collaborated
of
then.
sure. If it's your first show, I did it.
Or did we take pictures but we couldn't use them? That's what it was. Because we changed the
Oh.
idea of the cover.
Yeah.
That's what it
Oh,
was.
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
That's,
That's true,
what
that's
it
true.
was.
Because I'm sure we have.
Yeah.
had
Yeah,
Because
a
I was
yeah.
about to say, like,
Yeah, yeah.
how did I not get in contact with you for the pictures? But
Yeah.
we did.
Yeah.
And then we just always did it. And then
Yeah.
you're my, like, the
Because
main.
even for the first show, I drove around with you
Yeah.
around
Yeah.
to take photos, post the
Exactly.
posters.
Yeah, Glenn's in charge of the whole behind the scenes aspect for me for the shows because I always miss out on it.
No.
And then I have Glenn to like document it, and then I have actual value to post. You know, like things that
But,
excite me, things
on
I
that
remember.
topic, while I was working on your first show, there was a small guy, kind of a creep, I would say, came and said, "Hi, Glenn, how are you?" I was like, "Who are you?" And that guy turns out to be Yeremyh Maduro. He knew
That was
my
at
name.
the show.
Yeah, at the show.
At the show, yeah.
He knew my name because we were in a group chat on Facebook, maybe, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the story. So that's how I met Jeremy.
Yeah. And then you
Dope.
ended up working together last year, like starting last.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we didn't really connect at
No.
that point. We
Nope.
just went on to do our separate things.
Yeah. And then I
Yeah.
remember,
Last year we hung out.
yeah,
like,
Yeah.
contact
because we were
again.
doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
We both knew each other like because we're all working on your show. Like we
Mhm.
just like hung out at one
Yeah.
point, and then I remember we sat down, talked about the things we wanted to do. I remember
Yeah.
you had like an idea for a project, and you asked if I'd
Want
like
to-
to help.
Yeah.
Nice.
And from then on,
Was that the project we just finished? Or that was that the conversation of the music?
I think that was before. That was the
Music video.
that was the music video. Yeah,
You think so?
I think so because that was
Yeah.
that took place a little bit earlier
Yeah.
in the year.
I think the first talk we had was about music videos and
Mhm.
filmmaking in that direction.
Yeah, it could have been. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's funny, man. Like you see, like we're all kind of from different backgrounds. I think Glenn and I are kind of same street attitude
Yeah.
backgrounds, and
All of these people are a bunch of nerds. Let's say it one more time. Nerds. I mean,
and it's funny
I'm
because
half
Glenn
street,
jokes
half
about it,
nerds.
but I think he's more out of the street attitude vibe than I am.
out of the street, like out of
Oh,
that
they're gonna
life.
do
Or,
this
Yeah,
right
out
now,
of
guys.
that-
yeah.
No, but that's just quick side note.
Man.
But I think that's a good wrap up for the first episode, like at least a
Yeah.
good introduction.
And I think for the upcoming episodes, we would like to discuss interesting topics.
Yeah. We're gonna dive deeper into
Yeah.
our own creative fields,
Yeah.
and we're really going to experiment a little bit also on outside perspective
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
on the industry, because we're all doing different things, which is the good part about it, because
Yeah.
we have different opinions on our own
Different
fields.
things,
I would
yeah.
say. So, yeah.
And the podcast is a good way to keep up with us with what we're doing as the 2020 Collective. If you want to keep up with us, you can follow us also on social media.
Yep.
Our Instagram is pretty much active at the moment. And yeah, that's about it.
Check out in the description for all pages and information. And give us a like, follow, share. We always appreciate that. As always, stay cool.
Yo.
It's 2020.
Yeah.
2020.
Peace. To be continued.
Let's go.